I want you to answer a question. How do you know that you are currently sitting in a room, watching a video on a screen? You rely on your senses. You can see the screen. You can feel the chair. You can hear my voice. But neuroscience tells us that all of those sensations are just electrical signals happening inside your brain. So, here's the scary part. If a brain forms spontaneously in deep space, complete with the exact same electrical signals you are having right now, it would believe it was you. It would remember your childhood. It would feel the phone in your hand. And according to the laws of physics, it is more likely that you are that floating brain than a real person. This is the Boltzmann Brain Paradox. To understand it, we have to talk about entropy. Entropy is a measure of disorder. The universe loves mess. It is very easy to make a messy room, but it is very hard to keep a room clean and organized. In physics, high order is incredibly rare. It is statistically unlikely. High disorder is very common. So, let's look at the universe we live in. It is highly organized. We have stars, DNA, iPhones, and complex brains. The odds of our universe happening by pure chance are astronomically low. It is like throwing 1 billion letters on the floor and them accidentally spelling out the entire dictionary perfectly. The physicist Ludwig Boltzmann proposed a terrifying alternative. He said that in an infinite universe that lasts forever, random particles will eventually bump into each other. Usually, they just bounce off. But given enough time, trillions upon trillions of years, particles will accidentally stick together to form a rock. Wait longer, and they might form a bacteria. Wait an eternity, and they might accidentally form a fully functioning human brain. This brain would appear out of the chaos for just a few seconds. It would have oxygen. It would have energy. And most importantly, it would have false memories encoded into its neurons. It would remember being born. It would remember eating breakfast this morning. It would hallucinate that it is watching a video about a Boltzmann brain. And then, it would dissolve back into the void. Now, here's the math. A full universe with billions of galaxies and billions of years of history is incredibly complex. It requires a massive amount of luck to exist. But a single brain? That is much simpler. It requires much less energy and much less luck than an entire universe. Therefore, statistically speaking, Boltzmann brains should be infinitely more common than real humans. For every one real human living on a real Earth, there should be trillions of floating brains in the void hallucinating that they are on Earth. So, if you pick a random conscious mind in the universe, what are the odds that it is the real one? The odds are almost zero. Logic dictates that you are almost certainly a Boltzmann brain. Your friends? They don't exist. Your past? You never lived it. It's just false data appearing in your mind right now. The universe didn't begin 14 billion years ago. It began 1 second ago, when your consciousness flickered into existence. And it might end in the next second. You might say, but I have proof. I can pinch myself. I can check the history books. But a Boltzmann brain would say the exact same thing. The hallucination is perfect. There is no physical experiment you can do to prove you aren't one. If your memories are fake, then your evidence is fake too. This paradox is a huge problem for physicists. They hate it. They try to find new theories to disprove it, because if the Boltzmann brain theory is true, then science itself is impossible. We can't study the universe if the universe is just a dream. But so far, nobody has been able to fully debunk it. So, look around your room one last time. Enjoy the sensation of breathing. Enjoy the feeling of being alive. Because it is highly probable that you are the only thing that exists in the entire universe. I am your host. Or, I am just a voice in your head. Subscribe before you dissolve.